Paul Hamilton going to join us. His appearance brought to you by Raylax Honda. Raylax, we got this. If you're on hold, stick with us. We'll get to your calls back into the Bills in a minute, but the Sabres played last night, lost to the Florida Panthers, and we're going to chat about it. Paul, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. Paul, were you stressed during the Bills-Jags game? Were you on easy street? How'd you feel throughout?
I don't know. I was stressed. I mean, it was just one of those where it's up for grabs, you know?
Yeah.
And I never got to, oh, geez, they're going to lose this game, or, oh, geez, they're going to win this game. It was just like, okay. It's, you know, it was just, it just didn't. I mean, sometimes you feel strong, like, oh, they're going to come back and win. They're definitely going to score here. They're definitely going to do that. And I didn't feel that way, but I didn't feel in a negative way either. It was just kind of, you know, we'll see what happens type of a game.
Well, next up is Denver. It's exciting. We'll all be ready for that. So a doubleheader on Saturday because the Sabres play the Wild on Saturday at like 12:30, and then Bills-Broncos at 4:30. So busy Saturday. Paul, let's recap last night's game. The Sabres lost to the Florida Panthers. And is there anything big to take away other than it was a pretty good game, pretty evenly played, and the Panthers got a goal in the third period? I thought that game might kind of cruise to overtime, but they got one, and that ends up being the difference.
They got to play a playoff game last night. That's kind of the way it looked. Tight, you know, not a lot going on. The game's played along the wall. It's a hard, tough game. I didn't think they were good. I didn't think they were bad last night. I thought they were kind of right in the middle. There were things you like about the game, things that you didn't. They were right there at the end, and you know, they got a lesson that this is the time of year where most games are going to be played like this now. I mean, the teams are every inch that you get, and you know, just you have to watch the little things, and just some of the little things they weren't able to get by. I mean, was Colten Ellis good? He was the same as the rest of the team. He wasn't good. He wasn't bad. I think he needs to be better than what I probably didn't like two of the goals that got scored on him. His rebound control wasn't as good as I've seen it in the past, but I wouldn't say he was awful in the game. He made some good saves along the way, and but the one goal that he said himself he would have wanted back was, you know, Greer's in his first goal that he wasn't screened and he thought he should have had. I didn't like the rebound. He just couldn't seem to locate the pucks a lot around the crease, and it cost him on the third goal too, where he was just kind of swimming around down there on the ice, and he let the rebound, you know, get a little too far away from him, and it wound up in. And you know, Alex Lyon probably within the next week is going to be back, and you know, it looks like Lindy Ruff is going to go alternate goaltenders for 2 weeks, and that doesn't shock me with the way the schedule is. You know, they've started to do that now, and Ellis is going to get another chance right away because back-to-backs at home, he'll get one of those games too. So if he wants to be part of that rotation for the full 2 weeks, and say, hey, Alex Lyon, it's great you're healthy, but you're not going to take my spot in the rotation. I think he's got to be a little bit better than what he was. But again, just like the rest of the team, he wasn't bad. I didn't think he was at his best either.
Yeah, second period was maybe really good. He had a breakaway save in there, but yeah, couldn't locate the puck in the third. Paul, it felt like, I don't know, and this is kind of what you said about like a playoff type of game. You know, it was a tough game. I felt like every time the Sabres tried to make a pass in this game, it was it hit a stick or a skate.
Yeah, it's just things like that you know, and they got a lesson from the best. I mean, these are the two-time defending Stanley Cup champions, and even though they have injuries, they know how to play. I mean, they know how to play a tough game. Just a weighted out game. It's like, all right, who's going to take advantage of a break, and you know, try to score there. And the Sabres had great opportunities right at the end. I mean, Doan some of the fans in the arena thought he scored.
I think the goal light went on, actually.
Yeah,
even.
it did. And, but he just barely missed the net. And the one where I was just like, what just happened here was when the delayed penalty for the Sabres, they pulled the goalie. They probably had at least a good minute, 6-on-5. And part of that 6-on-5 was Tage Thompson putting on a really nice move, cutting to the middle, and he's like all by himself. And Tage Thompson, the 40-goal scorer, did not shoot. I was stunned that he tried to pass to Josh Doan, who had 2 guys on him. I couldn't believe it. I just like, how does Tage Thompson not shoot there? I mean, you would want him to shoot 1,000 out of 1,000 times there, and he passed it up for a guy who was covered. So that was almost shocking to me. It's just little things like that maybe you did that you wouldn't normally do. In this really tight hockey game, and so they certainly had some chances to win that hockey game. Definitely.
Are there guys to you that in a game like that you see stand out more than others, or others maybe on the team that struggle with a game like that yesterday? And maybe also, Paul, like, not to lump him in with that question, like Dahlin hasn't been perfect lately, and like maybe that was a one-off, because I feel like I've always thought, if this team ever makes the playoffs, that Dahlin is ready for that type of game. But I don't know about last night. What about you?
Yeah, he could have been better. I wouldn't leave the game saying, boy, he was awful. But you didn't notice him as much as you would like a player of that ilk in a game like that. Yeah, that was a lesson for him too. That this is the way the playoffs are going to be. This is the kind of hockey that's going to have to be played, and because in the past years they've basically been out of it. And when other teams are starting to play like this, so they're playing kind of loosey-goosey hockey, and they get on a couple of streaks or something like that. But a lot of people say, well, they don't have any pressure on them, so. That's that type of a thing. This is going to be right down to it. And the Sabres, one thing I liked their goals, the way they were scored. I mean, on Bryson's shot, there's 3 guys around the net. He sneaks the puck through, but Bobrovsky never saw it. The goal that Benson scored, just basically, plain and simply, he wanted that goal more than the Panthers did. Thompson got the puck to the crease, and Benson won his battle. And it was a tough battle, but he won his battle and was able to push the puck in and score. Why? Because he was right there in the crease. Even the goal, after the Sabres had given up the empty netter, that they had a bunch of guys around the crease there too, and they just got the puck to the crease, and it winds up in the net. So I liked the 3 goals that they scored. Those are the types of goals you have to score. I thought they got goalied a little bit. I thought Bobrovsky really made some great saves. He after that Thompson play I told you about, he made a toe save that was the save of the game. I mean, that looked to me like that was on its way in, and he made a great toe save. But the Sabres had a good chance on the power play when Norris got himself loose and walked in on Bobrovsky, and he stops Norris on a breakaway on the power play. So, there are some things to like, and as I said, I like all 3 goals they scored. Those are the types of goals you score in games like that. They just needed one more.
Paul Hamilton on the Western Outline. Paul, in other sports, we get alternate broadcasts. Dan and Rob do a great job. Should we be getting you and Owen as an alternate broadcaster in these games? Hear some of these conversations. We've heard some loose stories of you and Owen Parker up there. Just lively debates happening about these games.
Oh yeah. He wasn't with me yesterday. I had Brayton Wilson with me yesterday. But I didn't even know Owen was there until the second intermission. I saw him wandering around.
We'll call it the Hammercast. You and Brayton, you and Owen, whoever walks by.
The Hammercast.
Get Gary Bettman while he's there.
Definitely, I think it could be entertaining at times. So definitely we could do the that kind of the
alternate
cast.
feed. Yeah.
We got the draft coming back. That was announced yesterday, right? The 2026 NHL draft. So that's fun.
And it'll be decentralized, right, Paul? So like, there's no there's not going to be this GM's roaming around to the other table.
Right. It's not what people might think who have gone to other drafts. I didn't realize till Bettman said that the Sabres have had more drafts, hosted more drafts than everybody with the Montreal Canadiens. So I was surprised by that. But it won't be what if you've gone to the other drafts. It won't be what you've seen before. It's basically players coming up on stage after they get announced. They get their jersey from Bettman, and Bettman will say hello to him. And Bettman admitted when we talked to him that maybe the first round's a little overproduced last year.
Was that the one? Was that the Sphere first round, Paul, where they went like into the room after to talk to the GMs?
No, that was in Los Angeles. The Sphere was the last time where everybody was there.
Okay.
The Sphere was a great draft. That was fun.
Right.
That was like they did the Zooms.
Oh.
A lot of the Zooms didn't work.
Oh, it's horrible.
And then they had the awkward, everybody standing there and going, hello? Yeah, hi. Hello?
It's the worst television I've ever seen in my life. Those 20 seconds where I've got Danny Briere or whoever GM like talking to some 18-year-old on TV.
It really was. You're not exaggerating. It really was horrible, horrible television.
Yeah. Thanks, Paul. We'll talk again Wednesday. The Flyers.
No problem. Take care.
Paul Hamilton on the Worcester Hotline.